Communication can have huge impact on your life. Therefore, overcoming communication barrier to effective communication is highly important. All the difficulties we seem to have with communication can be easily overcome with the knowledge. You should have knowledge. Understanding what communication strategies to you use and what communication barriers might be from blocking us from good communication are the keys to better communication. So, what is communication? You need to understand what is communication. Shabana, we can record this on computer also if recording is
It's live.
it's live. So communication is the method of exchanging information from one person to another. It is the name given to the way of interacting with a message of thoughts and feelings. It can be verbal and non-verbal. The method of interacting can be speech or oral, written, graphical, even signs, signals, behavior. Simply, communication is the process of creating and conveying meaningful messages from one person to another. It can be done through various means. In our fast-paced world today, we depend upon effective communication from day to day. Interacting is saying good morning, giving a smile to a friend from afar, taking instructions from your coworker, all fall under the radar of communication. For this barrier-free and effective communication, we need to have highly effective strategic communication. So because of the barrier, our information can easily be misinterpreted. So what is effective communication and why it is important? The ability to communicate effectively is necessary for everyone. So communicating effectively in various situations builds trust, solves problems, provides clarity, improves relationship, improves productivity, and many more things. What are the different types of communication? There are verbal communication, then there are non-verbal communication. Verbal communication have 4 forms of communication. Intrapersonal, that we have it with ourselves, that is self-talk. Then we have small group communication, which we have with 1 or 2 people. Then we have public communication. We give speech in a large gathering. So here everyone receives the same message. So public speaking on a topic and an election campaign are examples of public communication. Then there are non-verbal communication. How we give, how we have non-verbal communication is by body language, gestures, facial expression, eye contact, then touch, then appearance, like that. So everything is important in non-verbal communication. Then written communication, how you write or type. A form of communication that is done with the aid of words is written communication. So how we write or how we type, that is very important. So when sending letters, email, chatting on digital platform, reports, articles, or memos, etc. Then there is visual communication. The use of visual elements to communicate ideas and information is visual communication, like signs, drawing, maps, color, graphic design that we see in the beginning of this session that is graphic design, illustration, industrial design, advertising, animation, that also we saw in the beginning of the session, electronic resources, then movies, video clips, then all those emojis, okay, then animated text, then colors. All these are visual example of visual communication. Then what are the characteristics of effective communication? The key to overcoming barriers to effective communication is knowing its characteristics. So it depends on many factors. For example, effective transferring of information requires listening carefully, then reading the information, understanding the processing it, and then transferring it. So it depends on factors like gestures, like what I'm doing in between gestures, then posture, I'm sitting straight, tone of the voice, spoken language, I'm speaking in English, which everyone can understand. So all these things give rise to good and effective communication. So what are the 7 C for cat, 7 C's, the characteristic of effective communication? You should be clear what you want to say. Then effective communication depends on clarity of the message. What I'm saying, you should understand. I'm clearly saying that we are talking about communication. Then concise. The information should be point to point. Okay. If you have longer communication with no point, then people will not understand. So length should be less, content should be less, but it should be concise, short, concrete. It should be specific, tangible, and you should have valid information. Like what I am telling you, it is valid information. So I got these information from a valid source so that audience can understand. Then it should be correct. Correct. What should be correct? Language should be correct. You should have good language to communicate your thoughts. So this is very important. Then there is considerate. The effective communication must be judgment free. It should be neutral. Then it should be complete. Effective communication are complete because receiver receives all the information. So I'm trying to give all the information regarding communication so that you can understand well and you can digest it and you can remember it. Then you should be courteous. Courtesy is the act of respecting the culture, values, and beliefs of the receiver. So you have to be considerate, you have to be courteous, and then only, and also you should never hurt anybody's feelings. So you should give a message that sounds genuinely polite and unbiased. So these are the 7 C's of communication. What are the 6 communication strategies? Benefits of strong communication skills are clear, but learning to communicate well isn't quite so straightforward. To simplify the process, there are 6 strategies. Active listening. Improve active listening to communicate more effectively. If you are actively listening what I am saying, you can always come back to me with your doubts, or you can use these information in your life. Then interpersonal skill. Interpersonal in communication is the exchange of information between two or more people. This type of communication can be verbal, non-verbal, written, or through listening. For example, you are talking to your um, friend. Then you are having verbal also, non-verbal also. You can always write your thoughts also, and you are listening also. So all these things are there. You have to improve your interpersonal skill. That means you have to connect to the person who is in front of you. Then there is internal communication with in the office. Okay, when you are in office environment, you should connect with other people because that is more effective so that your team can work properly. So communication is very important part of getting the work done. You have to simplify the process, read down or break down all these business communication so that the person can understand, your team can understand and give the best. So this is very important part of team communication that you should communicate well by breaking down all types of internal business communication. Okay. Then you should encourage feedback. Suppose you are speaking and the person is listening, then you should ask the person, how could you understand or could you give your feedback? Then only you will be able to understand whether they got the message or not. Good communication requires trust in the speaker. If you are listening to me, you are trusting me that I will be delivering the authentic message. So you should develop the trust factor. Always be on time. Always keep your players up to date. Slow communication quickly lead to anger, speculation, delays. Offer quick partial updates along the way to keep everyone informed. Suppose you are on time and you are caught up with some unusual situation, you should inform the other person whom you are going to meet that I will be late by 5 or 10 minutes. So that is also very important. Then what are the 7 barriers of communication? Linguistic barrier. Suppose you don't know the language. Many people don't know English. I can communicate in Hindi also. Similarly, if a person knows Tamil and he doesn't know English, so you have to communicate in Tamil. Then only you will be able to communicate your own message or what you want to say. So there are 6,500 spoken languages globally. You can't learn all the languages, but you can always take help of electronic media. There are many apps who can translate your thoughts and you can always communicate your um, message to those people who could not understand the language you are speaking. Then there are psychological barriers. What are psychological barriers? Emotions like anger, frustration, humor can cloud a person's decision-making ability, and then it is their communication skill goes down. Their effectiveness goes down. So when a person is angry, he can't communicate very well what he wants to say. So you should calm down and then only you should communicate. Then there are emotional barriers. What are emotional barriers? Balance of emotions and facts you should have. Emotions such as anger, frustration, humor, all these are emotional barriers. Then there are physical barriers. Any form of objects or sounds can cause an obstacle in conveying the message. For example, if this room is full of noise, you won't be able to hear me properly. You have to you have to strain yourself to understand what I'm saying. So you have to be in a quiet place, or you should close the doors, and you should have proper network so that I can communicate over electronic media, or you should have closed cabins where you can communicate well so that the person who is hearing you can hear properly. So this is very important. Then there are cultural barriers. All over the world, there are different cultures, different belief systems, different way of talking, different way of living. So you have to understand those cultures, and then you should convey what you want to convey. For example, in many places, it is um, it is normal that you should handshake and greet the person. In India, some places in our culture, people don't feel like touching others. They say namaste. So you should understand that, and then only you should communicate. Then organizational structure barriers. In any organization, there are many ways to communicate. Not using proper communication system or using many different communication system may create difficulty to deliver the message clearly and correctly. So you should have a single communication system where you can convey your message. For example, if you can structureize the way of communication, managers speak to two people, then those two people can convey the message to their staff. That way, you will be able to get the message conveyed correctly. Then, attitude barrier. This is very important. Being too introverted or too extroverted can create barriers. So, throwing tantrums or being egoistic, this is very big setback. It reduces the transfer of meaningful messages. So you should be balanced and you should be unbiased. Then perception barriers. Different point of views on this matter can create barrier to effective communication. You have to be considerate. You have to understand what are the perspective forms, and you should perceive in a positive way. If you perceive negatively, you will not be able to convey your message properly. Then physiological barrier. For example, you have some disorder, disease, or shaky voice, dyslexia, or any other form of physical problem that will also affect your effective communication. You should overcome all those things. For example, some people stammer also. So they have to get over that stammering and then communicate. Then physical. Physical, like Zoom and other electronic media, they are making us to communicate from distance. We are not coming close to each other physically. That is also one of the barrier. You are not able to know what the person on the other side of the screen is. So that also reduces the communication, and this create a distance between the people. So you have to be very effective when you are communicating on electronic media. So you have to let go your emotions so that you can communicate good. Language, I told you about language, then cultural also, interpersonal also. All these things I have told you already. Then gender. Gender bias is also there. Here in many countries, they will not communicate with male, will not communicate with female, female will not communicate with male. Then there will be a communication gap. So you have to be very careful where you are. Sometimes in families also, they are not supposed to go outside and speak. So that barrier you have to, overcome and to convince your family and friends to go out and communicate. What are the strategies to overcome communication barrier? Okay, this is very important, I think so, because our topic is such that you have to overcome the barrier. So make your ideas clear before communicating in your mind. So what you want to say, you have to think before you say. Ensure the time of your communication is good. When you speak to someone, try to see the time and mood of the person, then only you should communicate. You should pay attention also what the other person is saying. Use a language that your listener can understand. For example, I am speaking in English. Many people could not understand English, so I should also speak in Hindi. So this is what I should do. So we should use a language which everyone can understand. Then you should be speaking English. For example, whatever language you are speaking, you should speak correctly, like grammatically, it should be correct. For that, you have to understand and read how to communicate correctly, grammatically. Make your messages point to the point and short. For example, writing an email. If you write a big story, nobody will read. So avoid all those messages which are long. Make it short and crisp. And only communicate one idea or thought at a time. Check if the other person has understood your message by communicating or asking for the feedback. The motive of feedback is to determine whether the recipient has grasped the significance of the received information. Take care of your body language, tone, content of the message. What is body language? Your expression, like I'm smiling, gestures, posture, voice tone, and these are all powerful tools when you are speaking. Listen before you speak again. You have to listen to other person so that you can understand, and then only you should speak your thoughts. Listening is very important. You will make other person feel that their perception is equally important as yours. You will be able to give more appropriate, you will get more appropriate feedback also, and you can give feedback also. Then do not interrupt when someone else is speaking. Wait till they finish so that they understand. You understand what they want to communicate, and then you can communicate your thoughts. Make your message judgment free. You should be neutral when you are speaking, and you should not speak rudely. You should be very polite. You should be respecting the religion. You should be respecting different people's culture and belief system. So becoming successful in your profession, you should have specific set of skills to succeed in today's competitive world. Speak and connect. So you have 9 ways to overcome barriers. Speak your heart out, but always be aware of the characteristic of effective communication. If you have a problem with communication, always keep these 9 tips that I have told you, other few tips I have told you in your mind, and you will be able to convey your message effortlessly. So could you understand what I am saying? Now I am asking for the feedback. Then we will proceed to meditation. Okay, no response? What
No,
happened?
yes, you have conveyed your message effectively
Very good,
and concisely
very good.
and to the point.
Wow.
Thank
So
you. Thank you.
you have got the real message which I want to convey to you.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much. Anyone else who can give some feedback on what I have told about the communication and the barriers and how to overcome the barrier? Okay. So I think so. I should proceed with the meditation. All set for meditation.
Yes.
Great. I think so
Yes.
everyone is waiting for meditation. So speak your heart out after this meditation. I'm so happy to have the opportunity to guide you. So let's begin. You want to improve your communication with others and increase your patience. In order to do this, you must become very relaxed and then focus on what it is that you desire to achieve. It is up to you to dedicate the time and make the necessary efforts towards your goal. So say to yourself, I intend to have good patience, communicate effectively with others easily and wisely. So this is your intent for today. So get into a very comfortable position, lie down. Yes, patience is virtue. So get into very comfortable position, make yourself, you should not be disturbed. Relax yourself, sit yourself or lie down in your room. Relax. Take 5 deep breaths. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Relax completely. Breathe in and breathe out. Slowly and slowly. Breathe in and breathe out. Your feet are relaxed. Your ankle are relaxed. Your knees are relaxed. All of your legs are completely relaxed. Your lower body is relaxed. Your stomach is relaxed. Totally and completely relaxed. Your chest is relaxed. Your neck is relaxed. Your shoulder muscles are relaxed. Your shoulders are drooped down, and your hands are relaxed. Your fingers are relaxed. Your face is relaxed. Your eyes are relaxed. And close shut till I say open your eye. Your forehead is relaxed. Your eyes are closed shut till I say open your eye. Your whole body is relaxed, completely relaxed. I am going to tell you something very important, and you will deeply hear the words that I have to say to you. They will affect your life for better. You are completely aware at every level of your mind. And even though your body may feel asleep, these things I am going to tell you will build your abilities to communicate and have patience. Here are the basics in cultivating patience. No matter who you are and what your life is like, everyone experiences moments where patience is needed. It could be as simple as waiting your turn in line, or as complex as growing a business from the scratch. Everyone has great patience within them, even if you don't. Let me tell you a few short stories to show you the importance of patience. Imagine that you are fishing. You could be throwing your pole off the side of a boat. You are throwing the fish hook in the river. No matter what the scenario is, every fisherman knows that the way to catch a fish has little to do with outside force, but more to do with patience. Throw your line and wait. Trust that your patience will pay. Something will come and snag the hook. You will catch a fish. It will come to the hook. You are patient. Imagine how it feels to have patience on a beautiful day fishing out. Result is you caught a fish. You can see with your patience, you caught a fish. Another story starts with a seed. Seeds contain all the information within them to grow and carry on the life of each plant. A seed can grow into a big tree within a week, a year, or even several years. A big tree has patience, and so do you. So imagine you are standing barefoot in rich, fresh soil. In your hand, there is a seed that represents you. Inside its tiny shell contains all of the information that you are capable of expressing to others. and living out your life with. The seed needs to be planted and watered occasionally in the beginning so it becomes strong. So drop this seed of endless possibilities into the soil and dig a little with your hand. Cover the seed with soil. You have done this. Good. Now, a warm rainstorm rolls over soon and waters the soil. So rain waters the soil. You are beginning to grow and you have the patience to wait for the great force that are becoming, caring for yourself along the way. You want to have healthy relationships. Feel that you effectively communicate with others. It is important to care about yourself, but you should care for others also. You appreciate yourself when you care for others, and others care for you for appreciating them. This is healthy and very important in any relationship. Also, in your day to day interaction with everyone you meet. You desire to communicate well with others. You put in the work necessary to do. First step in communicating well with others is to ask them about their day. Ask them what they like and dislike. Ask them their concern. And when they tell you these things, ask them more about what they are telling you. Say things like, "Oh, that is very interesting. Would you tell me more about that?" And look into their eyes and really listen to what they explain. This comes easily and naturally for you. Perfect. And the third step, to have all these traits come easily and naturally to you. From now on, you think, act, and walk through patience, care, and planning through communicating easily with others. When you get ready for your day, your thoughts will take you to great ideas towards personal achievement, who you need to talk to, and what you need to do to get there. Planning things comes easily to you because when you have an idea, you write it down. When you write down ideas and tasks that you need to complete, You have a reference to see what you have accomplished so far and what is left to do. When you accomplish something, tick it. When you do this, you feel a small victory. Then you can easily see what's left to do. Don't worry about putting anything in any kind of particular order. You just naturally write it down exactly as it needs to be. And you naturally tick each item exactly once you accomplish that task. Good. You can put a notepad near somewhere where you like to sit or stand and two pens just in case you lose one. It's easy for you to write down things you need to do because this is the path towards success. When you walk to work together with someone, and even in times when you are walking alone, you feel that you are communicating well so that others are learning from you as well as you learn from them. From now on, all of your actions reflect that you have great patience and excellent communication skills. And notice how this feels. Good, very good. You did such a good job today. So let's come back. Whatever you have learned during this meditation, bring back all with you that you learned today. Slowly and slowly, relax yourself. Come back to your room, to your body. Wriggle your toes. Move your hand a little. Slowly and slowly. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. And open your eyes. Back to your room. Open your eyes. Thank you for being with me patiently. You can come back or you can stay back in your meditative state. You can do this meditation as many times as you feel like so that you can communicate effectively. Great. You're welcome, Vasanti. Anyone else who wants to share anything about this meditation or you have any questions regarding communication, you are free to ask questions. Great, Neelamji. I'm happy. You're welcome.
Thank you, Nupurji, for a wonderful meditation. It was really great.
Very good. So happy. Great. You're welcome, Tilangam.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome, Pritamji. Anyone else who have any
मेरे को
question?
पता नहीं क्यों नींद आ जाती है आपके साथ.
अच्छा है, नींद आना तो बहुत अच्छा है. तो जो भी मैं
यस
अंदर
यस
से-
मैम, जब भी मेडिटेशन होता है तो बहुत ज्यादा स्लीपीनेस होता है.
I'm so glad.
Thank you.
Whatever I say in meditation, it will go into your subconscious mind. आपके subconscious mind में चला जाएगा. So it
हाँ, वही
doesn't
मैं-
matter if you go off to sleep.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. मेरे को लगता है कि मैंने शायद सुना ही नहीं, सो गया हूँ तो.
बहुत अच्छी बात है. आप ट्रांस में चले जाते हैं, सोते
हाँ,
नहीं है,
yes.
ट्रांस में चले जाते हैं.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. So anyone else have any questions? कुछ भी पूछना है communication के regarding, you can always